In this lesson, we'll create our hip and chest controls. Let's head over to the Create panel and we will create a circle shape. We're going to make this similar to what we did for the secondary foot controls minus one shape. So let's go ahead and just draw this out. All right, I'll go ahead and zoom in. And going to angle snap, we'll hold down shift and just rotate in our y-axis. Okay, so here's the shape that we're going to use, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Now that that's done, we can take one of these, convert them to an editable spline, so we can attach the other to it. Okay, let's see here, just scroll down. There's attach, and we'll choose the next shape. Alright, so now they're one. Alright, now that that's done, let's say we go ahead and reposition this. So rather than snapping this to our chest envelope object, we actually want to be mindful of the pivot here. Let's go ahead and bring back our character. I'll just Alt right click, head over to our layer manager. Alright, so this takes a good study of anatomy and of just studying motion to see where this chest control should actually pivot from. Definitely not at the top, not right at the neck, but more along this area, right underneath the chest. So that's exactly where we're going to want this pivot for this control. Let's go ahead and quick snap it. Alt A. Again, right to our spine D bone. We're also going to want to orient it to that bone as well. And again, this is so that when we set up our twist, it's going to be seamless. So to do that, we can press Alt A, choose the bone. Okay, we don't have to worry about the match of our position. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just make sure that we take care of that for our orientation and choose OK. So now if we were to, let's say, go to gimbal, and our rotate tool, go to gimbal mode for our coordinate system, can see that these controls are actually going to be matched to their bone. Now, it doesn't quite look like that for the control because we haven't frozen the transformations just yet. But if we were to, and I'll just show you this really quick, you don't have to do this just yet because we're going to do this later on. But just to show you, if we were to freeze transformations on this, again, it's going to match with the bone perfectly. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and undo that. Alright, now that that's done, I'll go ahead and close out the layer manager. We can definitely turn on rendering and viewport for this object. I'll just scroll to the top, enable that, definitely bring down its thickness here. I'd say about 0.4 would work fine. Okay, let's say we go ahead and recolor this as well, and then we can kind of scale it down and move its shape out so it's easier to select. We can go with an orange for this. Alright, that looks good. So from here, again, what we want to do is go ahead and make sure that this is going to be easy to select. So firstly, let's head over to our hierarchy panel, choose Effect Object Only, and move out this shape. From here, I'd like to go back to the layer manager and turn off X-ray really quick. So let's make sure our character is unfrozen. Select the mesh and choose X-ray, not on, but off. Just to get an idea of how this is going to look in the end. Alright, so from here we can go back to our shape, maybe scale it down locally, just a little bit more. And then even just bring that shape up a little bit higher. So it's right around the chest. Alright, there we have it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and select the character again, turn on X-ray, go ahead and freeze the character, and now we can take this shape and clone it to the hips. Alright, so I'll turn off Effect Object Only. We'll just hold down Shift and drag out in the Z-axis. From here, we'll center the pivot, so we'll choose Affect Pivot Only and choose Center to Object. Now we'll want to just quick snap this. It already has its orientation matched. So let's just go ahead and quick snap this to our hip envelope object. Great. Okay, well, now that that's done, let's say we go ahead and rename these. So the one for the chest, we're going to call this CC for Control Curve underscore chest 01. I'll just copy the name. For this hip control, we'll simply just change chest to hip. And there we have it. Okay, so we're ready to now link our envelope objects for this spine curve right to these controls. I'll go to the link tool. Again, link the PT control chest to the chest control and the hip envelope to the hip control. And here's what we get as we start to select this and move it around. Notice now they are actually controls. Great. And also, again, keeping in mind the pivot as we rotate this, and I'll just switch this to local really quick so you can see this. As we rotate this, we're going to get that pivot that we need. Now remember, this bone here at the top, it's going to be directly linked to this control, so we can take care of that now. I'll just simply link the chest bone to its control object. Now as we rotate this again, here we have it. Okay, great. So everything's looking just fine. Well, with that now done, we have set up our chest and hip controls. In the next lesson, we're ready to work on our upper body control and discuss some important things concerning it.